Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening I'll be doing an update on the very heavy snow we have throughout the UK at the moment. Do remember though, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, as it really does help me out. So currently we actually have quite a lot of heavy snow moving quite far inland. In this morning's update, most of the snow was mainly in eastern areas, and I did say it would go further inland. And areas such as Wales, northwest England, Western Scotland, parts of western northern England have started to see more snow, and you can see for Northern Ireland and southern parts of Northern Ireland and northern parts of Ireland has started to see some quite heavy snow showers packing in, and there's actually a yellow warning in force for that. I was a bit sceptical of that this morning, as I wasn't seeing too much shower activity with that, but it has pepped up quite a lot. An amber warning is in force overnight tonight into tomorrow for a convergence zone that's going to be building over towards Scotland, and you can already see the potential starts of it here. We'll have a look at that warning in a minute. I'll also have a look at the facts charts later in the video, which highlight where we could see convergence zones, or at least where the Met Office operational meteorologists think there's going to be convergence zones. You can see quite a rash of showers. There was an amber warning in force for parts of southern Yorkshire, parts of Nottinghamshire, Lincolnshire. The showers have died off there, but still quite a few showers around. If you're in one of these lines, you can still see some decent accumulations. We had a very interesting feature towards the south this afternoon. We had showers moving in that looked like they were dying away before they picked up rapidly, sort of towards Hertfordshire, Cambridge, getting towards Milton Keynes. Even where I am in North London, I saw some very heavy snow as a low-level system actually developed. And you can see it still remains here, but it's died down a little bit. I saw someone point out on Twitter that it was a very sort of isolated system where there was a large temperature contrast in just very subtle levels in the atmosphere, which caused a low-level disturbance, which created some very heavy snow. Unfortunately, it was during the middle of the day, so only a little bit of it really settled, and now we've sort of got light showers coming through. But a very interesting feature there. Now, I know a lot of people, especially across the south, have been frustrated today, having seen quite a lot of snow, a lot of light snow falling. Even the radar doesn't really show it too well, but the light snow. But even areas outside of where these blues are have seen light snow today. People are a bit frustrated. It hasn't been settling. And I did say earlier in the video and yesterday that the ground is still quite mild, and it should readily settle as we progress through this week. But unfortunately, showers will probably cut out towards the end of the week. So it's really a sweet spot. It's probably overnight tomorrow for decent accumulations, really. I've got maybe 3 or 4 centimetres on the grass, maybe a couple centimetres on sheltered hard surfaces, but on the roads and many paths, it's melted away throughout today. It's looked like it is frozen now as the sun is setting, because that's one issue we have as we're going further into February. The UV levels are increasing, and although it is cloudy, there is still that just subtle bit more energy coming through during the middle of the day. Now, if this was in December, UV levels would be lower, and perhaps we would see more snow accumulating. So it's very fine margins, as it ever is with UK snow. Just a 0.1 of a degree can be the difference between a lot of accumulating and it just melting away. So it's very difficult really to forecast snow amounts. But I suspect overnight tonight the ground will start to get much, much colder. With any moderate burst, you should start to see some accumulations. And I really wouldn't expect much snow to be melting, especially on grassy surfaces, for the next few days at least. So yeah, very interesting. One last thing I wanted to point out on the radar is this shower cloud coming out of East Anglia into parts of Kent. The Thames estuary looks like it's going to be powering up, as we have, other than this sort of low-level system, we've seen quite light snow in south, east and southern England, which meant it hasn't got as far westwards. But this looks like the convection is really powering up, and this is moving sort of west, really. And if it can remain its strength, it would be quite a lot of snow to potentially parts of the southeast, London, north of London, East Anglia, and if it remained overnight, it could even get down to parts of the southwest. You haven't seen a lot of snow. There's a few snow showers around, but again, not too much. So it's really one to watch with this little system coming in to East Anglia right now. Very heavy snow within that, and as we head into the evening, it would readily start to settle. So yeah, you could see some big accumulations, even when you haven't seen a lot of snow so far, if this track it goes along as it's expected to right now. But as ever with these sort of convective showers, it is very, very difficult to see exactly its track and its exact intensity. We also have a small convergence zone further northwards. Again, we'll look at the fact charts in a minute to show you where those could potentially be setting up. These are the current snow accumulations over the last 24 hours. Again, it's radar estimates, so this is not exactly what's on the ground, but what has fallen out of the sky. And you can see where we have seen quite heavy snow, especially in East Anglia, parts of eastern England. We saw that amber warning earlier. We saw some decent snow there, but nothing too much. Again, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have issued an amber warning for that. Perhaps more of an amber warning for more northern parts, northeastern England, where we've seen quite a lot of snow. But again, where we have seen that snow, it's not too unusual for those parts. Generally, the Met Office do look quite a lot more at impacts. So if the same amount of snow fell in southern England as it did over, I don't know, some hills in northern England, it may be an amber warning in the south and a yellow warning in the north. Just really, it's more about impacts. So that's why I suspect they did issue an amber warning for that. But we could be seeing some more amber warnings throughout this evening into tomorrow. We've got the amber warning for Scotland, but okay, perhaps we could see one for northern England or southern England as well, potentially. So yeah, we've seen quite a lot of accumulations, and I expect these to increase overnight tonight into tomorrow as shower activity strengthens. We'll have a look at these snow and ice warnings. As you can see right now, widespread yellow warning for southern Northern Ireland, and then the rest of eastern England, really, and eastern Scotland. A lot of snow showers packing, as you saw by that radar. Tomorrow we have that convergence zone over southern Scotland, sort of Stirling area. Potentially, there's potential for quite a lot of snow, 5 to 10 centimetres, 10 to 20 centimetres perhaps. So yes, quite significant conditions with that. Again, it could be a bust, but it's looking at the moment that we could see some decent snow with that. Elsewhere, again, just the standard yellow warnings, and I suspect they could be altered perhaps tonight or early tomorrow morning, depending on what the Met Office Met Office see. Wednesday, again, same snow warnings about. At the moment, it looks like Wednesday's the last day for decent snowfall from these showers before they become much more confined to the coast as the winds ease a little bit, and we see high pressure sit out more towards the more out towards the North Sea as weather fronts try and come in from the east and could hit the cold air and turn to heavy snow in some areas. It's very difficult to see exactly how those weather fronts will progress. At the moment, they do look like they will stall over southwestern parts of Wales, perhaps West Midlands. And as they do so, they do lose a lot of energy. So areas could see quite a lot of snow, but it could be quite localised. Again, how far inland it gets is very difficult. And again, it probably won't be well modelled until perhaps even a day before they come in around Thursday, Friday. Looking in the long term, it is looking like this cold spell is going to hang on at least for quite a long time in the east. At the moment, it's uncertain what's going to happen from sort of next weekend onwards. It's definitely looking like there might be a bit of a thaw on Saturday, Sunday, temperatures in the day going to maybe 3 or 4 degrees as milder air tries to come into the Atlantic, but the high pressure out to the North Sea and towards Scandinavia is going to try and hold it off. And there are some models bringing back a sort of a beast from the east pattern early next week as the high pressure edges back out and brings in very cold air again. So again, it is very difficult looking at that, and I'll probably update longer term views in the next couple of days once we've got over the big significant accumulations of snow and heavy snow showers over the next couple of days. We'll look at that more in the future. I'll now have a look at the facts charts for the Met Office. These were issued earlier this morning, so at midnight. And you can see, this is midnight tonight, so you can see where we got convergence zones. You can see these sort of arrowed sort of lines coming in. These are convergence zones where streamers would be sort of setting up, or larger streamers. There would be other streamers around, but these are where the winds are converging together and giving the most lift for showers. You can see one southern Scotland where we've got the amber warning, and then you see one perhaps into East Anglia. And again, there could be an amber warning out for that. There's not one yet, but perhaps we could see one with that. I don't know whether that's linked to the shower activity that's happening a bit further southwards. It's potentially the similar track, and it could be this convergence zone is set up a little bit further southwards. I don't know with that, but it definitely does look like there is a convergence zone going to be setting up. It may be more linked to those heavy showers we were seeing going through North Midlands, but yeah, again, difficult to see with that. And again, it's just really going to be a radar watch and an outcast. If we go to midday on Tuesday, you see similar convergence zones remaining. That convergence zone perhaps giving quite a peppering to North Midlands, perhaps getting into parts of Wales. Again, that convergence zone into Scotland, bringing heavy snow showers for that amber warning. So midday on Tuesday, see weather fronts gathering out in the Atlantic. As we head through midnight on Wednesday, so overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, you can see a very interesting feature that I know a lot of people have been looking at, the potential for a Thames streamer. You can see this convergence zone running through East Anglia, then going towards the London area, through the Thames, through southern England. Now that could be very interesting indeed for quite a wide area. Who have not seen a lot of snow in the last sort of day or two. Some areas of London and around London have been quite unlucky. Where I am in London, I've been very lucky that I saw the heaviest snow earlier this afternoon. But if I hadn't seen that, then I really would only have maybe a centimetre or two of snow on the ground, like most other areas. So again, hopefully, for those who like snow, we could be seeing potential on Wednesday. Again, another streamer setting up potentially over northern England into southern Scotland. Could show some potentially heavy snow there. And it's just really one to watch for radar. And as we head through midday on Wednesday, that streamer moves a bit further southeastwards, perhaps part of Kent, and then again another streamer there. And as we head through to midnight on Thursday, you can see winds go much more slack, and it looks like the easterly winds with those heavy snow showers will really be confined to the coastal areas. So for those who don't like snow, and I know a couple of people who watch my videos are a little bit annoyed when I get a bit excited that there could be some more snow for certain areas. For you, it looks like perhaps overnight into Thursday, it looks like snow showers will be dying down, especially inland. The one caveat that does come with that, as winds fall lighter, there's a decent chance that temperatures could really, really plummet. Currently forecast for where I am in London is minus 5 or 6 degrees looking at end of this week. Again, it could be locally colder, and I suspect some areas, especially further northwards, and especially areas where we've got some deep snow cover, could be seeing some very, very cold conditions with that. So yeah, as we head through midday on Thursday, you can see those weather fronts starting to gathering in the west, and that's as far as we can go on this current fax run. And you can see high pressure towards Scandinavia, and it's really what's going to win out between this low pressure and this high pressure. Some models have the lower pressure taking more influence and pumping southerly winds, not warm southerly winds, but not bitterly cold southerly winds, just average really. Average temperatures and further eastwards hold on to the colder air. However, some other models are currently having the higher pressure sitting towards the north UK and bringing back in bitterly cold air for the start of next week after a slight thaw over the weekend. So very interesting condition coming up over the next couple of days. For the next week or two, we could be setting up a very, very cold February. I can't really call it a very snowy February at the moment, as it's only had maybe a couple of days of snow so far. But looking at the upper air conditions, regardless of whether we see snow next week, it is still looking like high pressure dominant, especially further north and eastwards, which could and probably will keep the temperatures quite low, and it could be setting up a very cold February here. And if we did pull off that beast from the east pattern, I wouldn't be surprised if by sort of the mid to end of February we have a CET of around 0 degrees, which would be bitterly cold, exceptionally cold, perhaps 4 or 5 degrees colder than last year for February, which was very, very mild. So we could be setting up a very cold February here. Just really got to see what can happen towards the end of February to see if we pull off a very, very cold February. So very interesting conditions coming up. So make sure you stay tuned to Met Office warnings. Make sure you look at your radar frequently. Sort of the snow stuff I saw earlier today really developed in the space of about half an hour. So again, make sure you keep up to date. And I'll be posting probably another video tomorrow morning. But if any other amber warnings get enforced tonight, I'll update you on that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.